How are you?
I'm good.
Yeah,
How are you?
I'm good. I am struggling with this pre-winter lighting situation.
I know the lighting is bad,
Yeah,
like in general.
it's bright, but it's not sunny because it's like the nice gray, cloudy situation happening.
Yes.
So I'm like, nothing looks good. It's all bad. Just yeah.
Yes. Yeah. We have had fog here every single day, and so it's been like nasty gray, but at the
Mm,
same time, also like if I close the curtains, it's too dark. But if I turn on the lights, then it throws off my lighting. So we're both in the struggle zone today, and it'll just have to be fine.
yeah, it's just, fall, winter. I guess that's the life for the next 6 months. I mean, for me anyway, it's like 6 months.
Yeah. It's terrible.
Uh,
On the bright side, you have Happy Mail waiting for you today, don't you?
yeah, very exciting. At time of filming this, Yuta's Persona album is waiting in my mailbox. I have to go walk down and get it. And I'm like, I don't even know. Obviously, I've listened to it like a million times already, so like it's not like a surprise, but I'm
You sent me your
excited.
screenshot of like your stats lately, and I'm like, that's no surprise.
I know. I'm a very predictable person when it comes to my music. Literally, it's like, oh, noisy, J-rock, J-pop, VK. That's it. That's all you listen to. I'm like, yeah, sounds about right.
Yeah, you listen to Yuta. That's I mean, and also like others. You listen to One OK Rock, you listen to
Yeah.
like all of your stuff like falls under that umbrella right now. But
That's the thing, like, because obviously I got Yuda's album. Like, of course, I told myself I was never gonna buy albums full price, but like here we are, whatever.
Yuta's the exception, okay?
Yeah, sure, the only one, I'm sure. But it's also like sometimes you just fall for something and it's so hard to like play favorites or like it's just it consumes you, which is basically what we're talking about today. Not music, but we're doing our manga favorites for the year and like, oh boy, that was a hard one to narrow down.
I didn't realize how much manga I had read this year until it was time to pick like a top five, and I couldn't pick a top five. Like, spoiler, I have more than five.
Hmm.
Um, I read I read like 135 volumes of manga this year.
Oh my God.
And I mean, I like some of it is from the same series and stuff, but 135 plus volumes of manga, I was like,
That's a lot of manga.
I dove in head first because I didn't start reading manga until like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And this was, I mean, this year I went like crazy with it because I found out how much my library has
So that
and
was
took
yeah.
advantage.
Yeah, that was the nail in the coffin for me because I was like, "Oh, I like manga, but it's too expensive for me to buy it right now. Like I can't afford to own all the manga I want to read." And then I went, "Oh, my library has some like physical copies. Oh, I can request physical copies. Oh, they have a whole catalog of digital manga as well that I have access to and can just read to my heart's content. Oh no, I'm in trouble."
That happened to me too. And I read so many series this year that I was obsessed with.
Hmm.
One of which was the guy she was interested in wasn't a guy at all. I
Hmm.
know that this is kind of taking the world by storm right now. I've seen all the pop-up shops and I'm so jealous I'm not near one. Um, in this one, Aya is a high school student who has a crush on this guy who works at her local CD shop, except she discovers pretty quickly that this quirky, mysterious guy who has amazing taste in music isn't a guy at all. As the title implies, he's actually Mitsuki, who is a quiet girl in her class, but that doesn't change her attraction or interest, and the two of them quickly start to grow closer. First of all, I love the use of color in this. It's black, white with pops of green, and I think it's like always fun when you see like an interesting use of color in a manga. So I'm like loving that. I also really love that this one feels like that good representation of like your gender does not matter. It's the things that I like about you that do. Because I feel like it doesn't stay hung up on, oh, you're a girl, so I can't like you for a long time. Like it stays like it's very much like I like you, also you're a girl. Let's spend time together at a concert. Like it doesn't feel like it stays hung up on gender for long periods. And it doesn't feel like there's a ton of like crisis around that, which I really like. Um, I'm also always here for that big like Clark Kent kind of reveal of like, oh, as soon as she puts on a mask and these baggy clothes and not her school uniform, no one recognizes her.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of here for that. And also, the uncle in that series is like the best. I love him. We love a cool, supportive uncle who's just like, you're awesome. I love you. I'm gonna make sure that you have a great life. Like, he's great. I love
It's
him.
good. I love that series. It's like, can I also just say, like, the fashion? Hello?
Yes. Oh
Oh
my
my
God,
God.
yes.
Like, I want her wardrobe. Like, please just, it's so good. Like, it's so good.
I know. Like I've seen pop-up stores for merch from the series, like pins and bookmarks and things like that. Can we get a pop-up shop that's just like, here's all the clothes she
Yeah,
wore?
her entire wardrobe. Like, please,
I want it.
hello? Can I buy
Yep.
every item? Like,
Tell me where to shop. I will wear it all.
oh, it's so
I
good.
love
It's
it.
so good. I'm waiting for, I think, volume 3 from my library.
I think I have read that one. I'm
I
pretty
think I'm
sure.
waiting for it still for my library to get it. And like, so good. Also, we love the green. Like,
Yes. It's
green,
very Neo.
yeah, it's the brightest green in the world, and I love it so much. It's
Perfect
great.
pop-up
It's
color.
amazing. My first one, which you know that I was absolutely obsessed with, I literally consumed, I want to say 13 volumes of it in like 3 days because it just like hooked me. And I don't even know why, but it's by the grace of the gods. And basically, we follow middle-aged Japanese businessman Ryoma who has been like working an office job and kind of has a very boring life. Like he just goes to work, goes home, like maybe the odd time he goes drinking with coworkers. But he has a very like uneventful death. Like he just dies one night and then gets kind of picked by these three gods from an like alternate world. They're like, "Hey, we're gonna reincarnate you into our world so that we can have a connection to Earth to use your magic because Earth doesn't use their magic anymore and we need it on our planet. And you can just live life and do whatever you want." And at first he's kind of like, what? And they're like, yeah, you can do whatever you want. We'll like reincarnate you as a child. So they think he's like 8 when he's reincarnated, and they have this backstory for him. But he's like so overpowered because his whole deal, he was like, I'll agree to this if you give me like all the skills that I already had. So, so you have like 30-year-old man, strength, intelligence, like business and like knowledge, and this literal child going to this magical world, and he essentially just spends his days like he finds out that he loves slimes, so he starts like researching them and like breeding them and like helping them evolve, and like we just follow his like life and like him meeting other people and taking his slimes, and like it's so slice of life and so like minimal, but like I'm so invested in what is happening, and like it's so cute because you have this like 8-year-old boy who like he'll say things to people. He'll just be like, "Oh yeah, I've been living in the woods for 3 years by myself. It's no big deal." And you see these adults being like, "What kind of life does this child have?" Like they're so concerned for him because he's a child, but to him he's like, oh no, like it's fine. Like I just made my house and was hunting monsters by myself to feed myself and I trained like these thousands of slimes, no big deal. And everyone is like, this kid is like a magical genius. What is happening? So we watch
That's
him
so
like
good.
going through life and deciding what he wants to do and becoming an adventurer and like all these things and like seeing how kind of the reincarnation thing works because he learns more about that. Like he's not the first one, and there's all these different things happening, and like I don't know, it's just so like fun and cute. And I think what happened too is I read it at the time I was reading Danmai that was like the transmigration where people get like reincarnated into a different world. And like something about that is so interesting because they have the knowledge from their previous life like in this new world. And something about it is like so fascinating to see them like interacting with a world that doesn't understand what they're talking about.
I love it. That sounds so fun.
It's so fun. I love it so much. Like I can't wait for the next volume for my library to get it. 'Cause I'm like, I need it. I need to know what happens to this little man in a child's body.
I need to read it. It sounds like a fun time.
It's so cute. It's so good. Like it's just, I don't know, it's like warm and cozy yet adventurous.
Sounds good. Speaking of children dying, I have one with very opposite vibes that is not super warm and cozy.
Mm.
I have The Summer Hikaru Died. And in that one, Yoshiki and Hikaru have spent their whole lives like growing up in this rural town, and they're super close best friends. They're inseparable. But then Hikaru disappears during a hike, and when he finally returns, he's very obviously like different. And no one really seems to notice that much except for Yoshiki, who starts to suspect that something has happened to his best friend. And when he asks him about it, their friendship shifts because Hikaru died in the woods and has been replaced with something. The story explores this haunting loss that Yoshiki has experienced, and also the story of like mourning someone who's still alive and right in front of you. And also this feeling of trying to decide if he can live with this new person who's in his life that everyone's interacting with as though he's the same old Hikaru, or if he should stay away from him the way that a lot of people are warning him to. And also what either one of those choices is going to cost him, because both decisions come with consequences. I think it's just like this really powerful story of grief in unexpected forms. And there's also a lot of like weird aspects of it. There's some intense body horror, which I love. Um, there's some really strange twists to the story. It's not overtly BL, but there is a lot of BL coding that's very intentional, and there's a strong draw between Yoshiki and Hikaru that is like not platonic from what I can tell, especially on Hikaru's side, but it's also not necessarily romantic. And it's also not necessarily like familial or brotherly. Like it's kind of this feeling that sort of blurs the lines between like demonic monster feeding, I need your energy, but also kind of like, I care deeply about you. I need you to care deeply about me too because I love you, but also they're best friends. And so it's like kind of hard to tell like what type of love this is and what type of need this is and what type of hunger this is. But also, it's very clear that it is something that's not necessarily platonic. And so it's very interesting, but the whole thing is so good. The art is really well done. It's very creepy in a lot of ways. I really need to watch the anime, but like the whole thing is so well done.
That's one that's on my list that I need to get to that I haven't yet. Like my library has it, and I think I've taken volume one out a couple times, but I just never actually like go for it.
I think you will like it when you start it, but it is definitely one that like it took me a few tries to actually open it after I
Hmm.
checked it out. Like I checked it out and I was like, am I gonna do it? Am I gonna do it? And then I opened it and it was like, I have to read the whole series right now.
Well, kind of on the same vein in terms of like being on the darker side. My next one is Happy of the End, which, as you know, is one of my favorite series. So there's an adaptation to this, and this is like the manga that started it all. And essentially we follow Chihiro, who is a starving, like he's starving, broke, and homeless, and he's kind of, you know, wandering and going from place to place trying to figure out like what to do and he's kind of mooching off of people to make a living because he doesn't have anything, doesn't have anywhere to live. And he meets Kato at a bar, and Kato brings him home to like a hotel. And um, he basically gets beat up and knocked out the first night they meet, but Chihiro can't stay away and comes back and is like, "Well, let me help you. Like, I see you're moving. Like, I'll help move your stuff if you let me stay with you, whatever." And they have this very like weird kind of toxic relationship, but also like there's more happening because both of them have secrets and like pasts, and like they start slowly opening up to each other about what happens and like about what they do and like why they're in this situation and where they go from there and like the things that unfold. So like it's as with the series, it's very much like check all the content warnings because it's not like fun and warm and fluffy. And I read it specifically because I watched the series and I loved it, and I was like, I need to know like how they are similar or different from each other. And they're very similar, which is cool. But yeah, it's definitely on the darker side because it's very much, people doing bad things, living difficult lives, and being together when maybe they probably shouldn't, but it is what it is.
I don't think I realized, or maybe you told me and I forgot that that was also a manga. Like I knew it was a series. I
Yeah.
don't think it connected with me that it was a manga. So I'm
It's a
gonna have to see if my
manga.
library
Yeah, it
has
was a
it.
manga first, and there's two volumes that are in English. I think the third volume is like the translation is coming out. So I need to eventually get the third volume because I need to see what happens in the end. I mean, I know what happens in the series, but I need to know what happens in the manga. But
Mhm.
yeah, it's very similar. It's very dark. Be careful if you're gonna read it.
I'm here for dark. I
Hmm.
like dark. In the same vein of like interesting first meetings, I have one that I know you have read and enjoyed, The Metalhead Next Door.
Hmm.
I love it. Kento is a graduate student who moves into a super cheap and also super cold apartment. He almost freezes to death and is rescued by a silent metalhead who's dressed in all black. And he's pretty sure at first that he's been rescued by the Angel of Death and he's definitely dying and dead and not okay. But he quickly realizes, oh, hey, this person isn't dead or an angel of death or dragging me to the underworld. He's just a metalhead who dresses kind of strangely, and he's my neighbor. And so over the next year, they grow close and they share meals and space. And it becomes really clear that their feelings are a lot stronger than they anticipated initially. Um, I don't even know how to explain my love for this story other than like feral screeching and a demand for more. Um,
Yeah.
I'm really sad that it's a standalone because I would have gladly consumed 5 or 6 or 50 more volumes of their life together.
Hmm.
Um, in some ways it's super slice of life, and in some like I feel like it kind of like musically sits at the same table as the guy she was interested in wasn't a guy at all, but also like and like for the concert scenes and things like that. And also for like the foodie slice of life found family kind of vibes, it sort of sits at the same table as our dining table. Like I feel like it would kind of fit between those two stories, but not
Yeah.
exactly at the same spot as those two,
Yeah.
but like it would fit on the shelf of anyone who likes both of those stories quite well. And I feel like I honestly am due for a reread of it because it's so cozy.
It is very cozy. Like it's such a good one. It's so cute. We need more. Like there needs to be more. Why is there only one?
I need so much more of that story.
Mhm.
I loved it.
Okay, my next one is also cozy and food related in a way. And it's one that's like all the rage right now because the anime came out, and it's Delicious in Dungeon or Dungeon Meshi. And basically, we follow Laos, who is a young adventurer, and his company. and they're like in the dungeons and they're attacked by a dragon and they lose all their money, all their provisions, and they lose a member of their party. So they basically decide, okay, we're going to go back into the dungeons to save her because it takes, X amount of time for a dragon to digest a person. So if we can kill it, we can save her, basically. So they go back into the dungeon, but the way this dungeon works is a lot of times people only spend like a couple weeks in and like they bring their provisions and they leave. And they start to realize like this isn't going to work if we're going to save her. Like we need to stay consistently and just keep moving through it till we can find the dragon. So they meet like another person who is in the dungeon and this person like it basically is like, "Oh, well, I know how to cook monsters. Like I've been living down here. So I'll join your party and we can just keep going because the whole reason people have to leave is because they need to get food." So they basically go on this journey of like working their way through the dungeons, but like figuring out how to, eat slimes or how do you cut up a basilisk and turn it into a meal and like all of this stuff. So it's very like food focused on like what they're eating and like how they turn monsters into a delicious meal. And it's very cool because it's like they're making Japanese meals out of like monster meat essentially and like monster plants and stuff like that. So like it's so fun and it's so cool. And I've only read, I want to say like the first four volumes or something. And like I need to finish the series because like it's so great and fun and like I want to know what happens if they can actually save this member or like what. But also the food is like if I was in a dungeon, I would try to eat a monster. Like, hey,
Yeah.
why not?
It sounds so interesting. And also, like, there's this one creator I love. He's from Mythical Kitchen, and he has this like shorts series that he's done in the past where he'll do like top five Pokemon and how I would cook them,
It's
or
exactly that
like
concept. Yes.
how I would cook a Labubu and
Yeah.
like what I would do with it. And so he'll talk about like, well, if you look at Clefairy, like this is how I would like fatten him up, and this is the cut of meat I would use, and this is the dish I would put him in.
Yeah.
Or like you would think because this Pokemon looks like a snail that I would use him in Snails on Glaze, but actually I think that it would be best to serve him in this. And so it's like very much like taking monsters and cooking them in like very real world applications.
Hmm.
And so that's instantly what it makes me think of. And I love that like short series. So it makes me want to read this book because I'm like, I am so here for taking like fictional or monster or like super creative like ingredients and being like, and here's a real world recipe that I would actually stick this in.
Yes, it's so
And
great.
like,
And they like break it. I love one of the things I love about the manga is they literally break it down. So it's almost like they have a recipe. So they're like, use this cut of the monster, and then you're gonna add these like spices and these monster vegetable. Like they literally do it as if you could like go out and find those ingredients. And I'm like, I love
I
it
love it.
so much. It's so
It's so
great.
good.
It's so good.
That's right up my alley. I've got to find it. I have my next one is not so much in the same vein, but it is Boys Run the Riot. You
Hmm.
have trans high schooler Rio, who is like kind of stuck in this restrictive environment that forces him to wear a girl's uniform to school at times, forces him to hide who he is in certain aspects of his life, like his home life, and makes him feel kind of strained and stressed. So his only real channel for his frustration is art, particularly graffiti. And there's this transfer student, Jin, who is fascinated by what Rio is doing and helps him channel this frustration into a street fashion brand with the help of another student. And they decide to call it Boys Run the Riot. As they kind of continue this rebellion, their newfound journey kind of discusses celebrity, it discusses creativity, it discusses coming out, and it discusses a lot of other aspects about just like being a youth when it's really hard to be a youth sometimes. Um, some of the aspects of the series were very stressful. I mean, there is a little bit of like forced outing. There are some aspects that I really struggled to read. But overall, I felt like there was a lot of like ingenuity. There was a lot of outsiders against the world energy in a way that was like we are going to make you hear our message whether you want to or not
Hmm.
kind of vibes. And I really liked where the story went, and I feel like it held up so well with genuinely good representation and seeing a character who has spent so much of their story hiding their transness, having to skirt around it in the ways in which they can by being like, okay, I have to wear my girl's uniform. Okay, I'm gonna wear my gym tracksuit instead. So that way I'm kind of like still following the rules, but I don't really have to explain myself necessarily. People are still gonna gossip, but maybe I can get away with it a little bit longer. And so like finding these ways in which Rio kind of like worked around the rules that he had to in order to be himself without outing himself to people he wasn't ready to out himself to, but then also seeing the support that Jin gave him no matter what. And Jin being like, it doesn't matter who you are. Like, you're still my friend. We still have this business together. Like, we're still going to push ahead. We're still going to do this. Like, who cares? And seeing the ways in which Jen would help kind of pull him out of his shell at those moments when he was wavering, but also the ways in which Rio would build Jen up when Jen was like having trouble with confidence or having trouble with people believing in him. It just really showed like the ways in which when people stick together, they can kind of go somewhere in ways that like maybe they wouldn't have the confidence to alone.
Yeah. I have to finish that series because I think like halfway through and it was really good. It's just at the time it was a little bit of a rough read. So I was like, I'll put you aside for right now and come back later. So I need to finally finish it.
Yes. I think ultimately it gets to a good place, but I also had to set it aside for a little bit and be like, I want to see where this goes, but I can't right the second
Hmm.
because of the things happening in it.
Yeah. All right, my next one is back to cute, fluffy, fun time, which I know you love, and it's Mr. Villain's Day Off.
I love this one so
Um,
much.
so we follow the general who is like the general of an evil organization plotting to take over the world. They're like aliens who've come down to Earth to try and, figure out they can take over the planet. And they have these people who are trying to stop them called the Rangers. But on his day off, the general is like, I am not doing any work. Like, I work really hard so that when I'm off of work, I do nothing. I just have a good time. And he is obsessed with pandas and ice cream and like cute desserts and just like enjoying all the tiny little things about Earth. And he's kind of like, well, maybe when we destroy the planet, I'll save the pandas because like they're cute enough, it's fine. Or I'll save ice cream. Or like he has these little things that he's like, oh, I'll keep this because this is good. And like he'll run into one of the rangers every so often and he'll be like, nope, this is a truce. I'm on my day off. Like we're not fighting right now. And like they'll even like he'll even help them when one of them gets lost or something. Like it's just I don't know, something about this like big scary guy who wants to take over the planet being like obsessed with pandas and like cute little shaped desserts and like trying the new ice cream flavor. I'm like, dude, you're so human without realizing how human you are. And it's so funny. And just watching like the other people that work with him try to figure out like human stuff. Like they're like, oh, we found this thing and we don't know what it is and it's like a bike and they're just trying to figure out like how they use it, like what is it, like what is this used for? I don't under like they don't understand how you even use this thing. Like I just something about people who don't get being a person is like great. It's so fun. It's so cute.
There's this one moment in, I want to say it's like the first or second volume, where one of the general's like coworkers is like, I need help. I have found this one square and I keep getting trapped under it and I don't know what to do. And so the general goes in and looks and it's a katatsu. And he's like, It's so warm. I can't move. I'm
It's
trapped.
so, doesn't he like call it like a monster or something? He's
Yeah,
like,
it's
there's
like a
this human
monster that eats his,
monster.
yeah, it's a monster that eats his lower half and he can't get out of it. And so it shows them like routinely going and like having meetings, the two of them, while their lower halves are trapped under the warm monster. And I'm just
So
obsessed with
cute.
it, like this idea of them being like, we found this thing, it's terrifying. We're going to spend all of our time trapped under it because it's so cozy. And I'm just
It's
like, oh,
it's
you're
so
so
good.
endearingly human.
I love it so much. Like it's just so because it's like obviously they're like, oh, we're gonna destroy Earth. Oh, we need to take over Earth because our planet is whatever. But there's so many parts of it that like they just enjoy Earth things. And
Mhm.
it's like they don't put it together that like, oh, maybe Earth like isn't actually that bad and we could just like cohabitate with these people. Like,
Yes.
no, we need to destroy it, but save the things that we like.
Yes. But it always also feels like he's moving the goalposts of like, well, I'll destroy it after I figure this out. I'll destroy it
Hmm.
after
He has to figure out how to
this.
save the pandas before he destroys it.
Exactly.
Like, it's like you're not trying that hard to destroy the
Yeah.
planet.
He also has a lot of days off.
He does. He's a lot of days off.
It's a very hard life.
So difficult.
Speaking of super fluffy and cute, I have my love mix up. It is about a student named Aoki who has a crush on a girl named Hashimoto. But when he goes to borrow her eraser, he sees another boy's name on it. He has this big assumption that she likes this other guy. And when the other guy sees him with the eraser, he doesn't want to out Hashimoto's interest, both because this risks his chance at flirting with her and also because he doesn't want to put her in an awkward position by being like, oh, it's hers and she likes you if she's not ready to say something. So he protects her and says that the eraser is his own. But this sends him down this like strange spiral of misunderstandings with both Hashimoto and the boy that he has convinced it's his eraser. Um, so he gets into this unexpected partnership with someone other than Hashimoto. I feel like this had such amazing rep, and you have like Ida, who very much gives like super, super Arrow vibes to me. Um, I think his clueless vibe around romance didn't seem like this generic, like, hey, I don't understand romance kind of thing, but more like a very earnest, like, I want to know how you're feeling. I want to try for you, but I don't necessarily understand or feel the same way as you. But I feel like we can try a relationship if it's what you want.
Mm.
And it felt so sincere and so lovely. And further than that, I feel like my love mix up, both the manga and the Thai series are like, because I haven't seen the Japanese series, are it's like one of my favorite series when it comes to friendship that exists. Like that group of friends and the friendship that Aoki has with Hashimoto is so supportive and so kind and so endearing that it's just like it doesn't matter what happens, they're rooting for each other in the sweetest ways. And I love to see a good friendship show up because I feel like a lot of times like you see a relationship pop up and so the friendship goes by the wayside. And that's not what happens here. Like the friendship is at the core of
Hmm.
the story the whole time.
Yeah, I love that series. Like both the Japanese adaptation and the manga, like they're so like I think that's one of the things I love about it is that like the friendship is so important and it's like there the whole time. Like you see them supporting each other like multiple times where Aoki is like, protecting Hashimoto if she's in a situation that makes her uncomfortable and he notices, or even like Ida is, trying to do something to make sure that Aoki doesn't feel uncomfortable. Like just how they all like take care of each other and support each other and they're like, hey, like that's not okay. Like people shouldn't say stuff to you like that. Like they're very supportive and like they're such good friends. Like even the one friend, Ida, who sometimes makes blunders. Like he's still a very good friend, even though he can get himself in hot water every once in a while.
Yeah. It's like it's just all so sweet. And I
I
love
love
them all
it.
so
I
much.
love it so much. It's so good. Such a good series. Similar vein, because we have like cute, good friends. My next one is Takara's Treasure, which we both love the adaptation, the series, the live action series, but also the manga. So we basically follow Taishin, who moves from like his kind of rural hometown into the city, into Tokyo to go to university, because he's chasing after Takara, who is this boy that like consoled him over the summer, when he was really upset, and like he decided he saw the university he went to. So he's like, I need to go there and find this guy again. And initially, Takara kind of pushes Taishin away, like, why are you following me? Like, that's creepy. Like, why are you here? But over time, they like build this relationship because Taishin doesn't really give up. He's like, no, I need to like thank you properly because you really helped me. And like, now I'm here. And like, we're seeing Taishin kind of grow and like make friends and like live like experience life and like his relationship with Takara. And like I mean that's another one that's very like Arrow and Ace vibes. Like they're very coded for me, both of them equally in their own way. So like I love it on that end, but also just the series itself, like I love how they kind of explore relationships and they talk about relationships. And like Takara is very much like, well, I don't have to like you 100% for us to date. Like we can just see how we get to know each other and where this goes. And we can like explore this at our own pace. Like there's no expectations because they're both very uncertain for different reasons. So I just love it. Like it's just sweet and cute. And like I really love the two of them together.
Yes. They're so cute together. And I love the conversation that they have around it.
Hmm.
My next one is actually like kind of the opposite in terms of conversation because the whole series is largely built on a series of miscommunications to the largest degree. I have The Way of the House Husband.
Hmm.
I love the series. So in this, Tatsu used to be a Yakuza boss known as the Immortal Dragon, but now he's retired from crime to be a full-time house husband. But his old ways haven't really left, and neither has his super intense personality. So he still uses it in his cooking, his laundry, his grocery shopping, and it leads to strange misunderstandings and hilarious moments with like his neighbors, his anime-loving wife Miku, and his unexpected friends in like the walking club and things like this. And so you see him encounter people from his time in the Yakuza, both his friends and his enemies. But then you also see him like trying to do things like collect the association fees in his neighborhood and being like, you need to pay up, and people like thinking he's shaking them down for a debt. And they're like, here, take it all. Like, I'm so sorry. And he's just like, you don't have to give me this much. It's like 40 yen, like here, and trying to give it back. And they're like, and so it's like because he's so intense it's wild. Or like he'll get stopped by the police because of the green that's in this briefcase and it's like literally basil. And so it's like the misunderstandings in it are hilarious. You have several recurring characters that are great. You have like a cat that shows up like often in the story, who I love because I love any manga with a cat. Um, I'm just obsessed with it. It's so good. I love it.
It's good. I've
Um,
read, I think, the first two volumes, and like it's very it gives similar to vibes as like Mr. Villain's Day Off because it's very much like guy experiencing the world, but like that's not the world he's from. Like he obviously is from a different experience, and then he's coming into like normal life, being like, oh, I'll just do everything the way I normally have, even though that doesn't work.
yes. And there are certain times in which like doing things that way gets him into a series of like trouble and strangeness, and
Hmm.
other times where it's like he teaches the people around him like a new way to do something and it's positive and it's great. And I love that for him.
It's great. It's so fun. I need to keep reading it for sure.
Yeah, I think I got volume 14 from the library today, and I'm like, I'm so ready to sink in. So good.
Okay, my last one is interesting. It's Wash It All Away, and it's basically about this woman, Kim May, who for 2 years has been running like a laundry service in this seaside town. And she's really good at what she does. Like she's incredible at laundry service. That go to her love her. Like she is so dedicated to her job, and she's slowly building new friends and like meeting new locals and visiting hot springs, but there's a bit of a mystery, and that's she doesn't remember anything past 2 years. Like she has no idea who she is, where she came from. Like all she remembers is how to clean clothes, and that's it. So we see her like in her daily life, like picking up, orders from people and people coming in and talking to her, and everything seems normal, but then she'll meet somebody new and they'll kind of be like, "Oh, well, where are you from? Like I didn't realize you were here 'cause she's only been here for 2 years." And she's like, "I don't know where I'm from. Like I don't know about my parents. I don't know about my family." Like she doesn't know anything. And it's like part of it is like there's a level of this manga that's kind of like you could just probably forget about it because it is just her cleaning clothes and like it's not that crazy, but then you have moments where someone's like, "Oh, I have this really old traditional doll. Like can you clean it? Is this something you can do?" And she's like, "Well, I'm not sure. Like, I'll try." And then she goes to clean it and she's like, "Somehow my hands remember how to do this, but I don't know how to do this." Like it's very weird. Like there's the mystery of like she doesn't know who she is or where she's from. All she knew was cleaning. So she came to like start this laundromat and that's it. And I'm like, I just want to know what's up with this woman because like what do you mean you don't know anything? Like what?
I'm so here for it. I have it sitting on my shelf from the library right now. And I've been trying to read through manga where I'm like in the middle of the series, and that's
Yeah.
one that I just have the first volume of, so I haven't gotten to it. But like that makes me want to read it so bad right now.
It's so interesting because it really is just like you just follow her doing her job and like she's, teaching people in the community like, "Oh, this is how you can clean this yourself or whatever." But then there's these moments of like someone will ask her a question and she gets sad and she's kind of like, "Well, I don't know if I've ever been to a festival before," or "I don't know who my family is," or "I don't know if I ever did that with my grandma." Like she doesn't know any of this stuff. And I'm like, why doesn't she know? Like, who is she? What is happening?
That's wild.
It's so interesting. I just want to know what happens. Like I want to know who she is and how she got here.
I gotta start that one.
It's great.
Yeah. I have two more that I will do kind of rapid fire. And my next one is also kind of mysterious. It is The Girl from the Other Side. In this like world divided between the inside and the outside, you've got this young girl named Shiva, and she lives in the village on the outside and has this beast guardian named Teacher. And it's very clear right off the bat that Teacher is not the guardian that she's always had, but instead someone who's kind of temporarily looking after her. And the bond they have is really strange, and there's a lot of rules around it. Like, there's a rule that they absolutely cannot touch each other. Um, and so as the story continues through the volumes, they search for Shiva's auntie, and a lot of dark and twisted things happen, which kind of starts to unwind the story of what led to the separation between the inside and the outside, and the powers that Shiva might hold that are a part of this separation. The thing is like it's like a fantasy that is just absolutely stunningly illustrated. I cannot get over the use of light and dark in the story's illustrations. It is just absolutely like a beauty to look at. I would take any panel of this and frame it and put it on my wall. Like it is stunning. But it's also very creepy and very dark, and there are like moments where like beasts get beheaded, and there are moments where things are like, why can't this character like that we're interacting with die, or like why can't, like why is this happening? and you don't really have a lot of answers, especially for the first several volumes. And so it's very strange and very unsettling.
Hmm.
And it feels like for a long time, you're getting more questions than answers. Like reading through this series, I just sit there and go like, okay, you answered one thing, but you also gave me like 47 other things to think about now, and that did not help me.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of obsessed with it.
I've seen it around and it's one that I'm like intrigued by, but I've never picked it up. So I'll have to pick it
I,
up.
I think you would like it. It's very dark, it's very intricate. The illustrations are like kind of like a gothic style. Like it's very
Mm.
like it's so good. I can't put it down. Um, and the other one that I can't put down is A Man and His Cat. In that one, you have a piano teacher named Mr. Kanda who adopts a cat named Fukumaru. He's a large and silly cat who is kind of overlooked at the local pet store. And after the loss of Mr. Kanda's wife, their companionship kind of forms slowly. And it's a lot of tender moments that help Mr. Kanda through his grief, but also with his struggles with anxiety and with heartache, because he has a lot of struggles that have like kept him from doing any more performance piano. Like he used to be a very famous concert performer, and now he can't even bring himself to get on stage. He struggles very deeply with the memories of his wife's presence, and Fukumaru is like the highlight of his life now and helps him deal with his loneliness, his grief, helps him reconnect with the other people in his life who maybe he's kind of kept at arm's length because before he had his wife, he didn't need other people.
Mm.
And now that he's feeling lonely, it's kind of like, well, I don't know how to connect with some of these other people. But now Fukumaru is kind of helping him bridge that gap. And so he's kind of starting to connect with friends again, but also in some ways for the first time. And it's through the help of this very dorky little cat. And so some panels are Mr. Kanda's story and the story of the people that he's interacting with. And some panels are cat doing cat things, like struggling with the litter box or waking him up by sitting on his chest, or, it's all of the things that like cat owners deal with.
Hmm.
And so it's a little bit of a mix of this is a story about a cat and this is a cat manga, but also this is a story about a man and his grief and how caring for someone else can help you care for yourself. And so I picked it up because I'm like, oh, cat manga. I love cats. I love cat manga. And it ended up being like very healing and very sweet and very earnest. And I highly recommend it.
I need to
But
check
bring
it
tissues.
out for
Like
sure.
definitely bring tissues because I like cry like a baby every time.
Oh, well, on that note, tell us if you've read any of these, if you like any of these, what your favorite manga was this year.
Yes.
If there's any you want to read, just let us know in the comments. We're always
What's
looking for
coming
more to
out?
read.
Yeah, what's coming out next year that we need to know about?
Hmm.
Like either new manga or new volumes of existing manga that we didn't talk about.
Let us
So,
know.
yes, we want to know.
Yeah. Okay. Bye.